Welcome back to North Dakota Today. We are at the Kirkwood Mall talking to Tanner Kessel from Blue Hawk Audio and Video. Always a pleasure to talk to you.
Thanks for having me again.
Thank you. We like to talk to you because I think football season is here. We have basketball with hockey. Baseball's coming to an end, but the World Series is coming up. So a lot of sports, and I think that's one thing everybody thinks of. How big of a TV can I get and what kind of TV, right?
That's right, that's right.
So,
they get pretty big now.
They do, and I think, yeah, bigger the better in some cases, and you guys have no shortage of TVs.
No, and that was kind of our New Year's resolution. For the longest time, we didn't push TVs super hard because there's 50 places in town that you can buy TVs, excluding, the stores like ours.
Yeah.
There's also the Targets, the Walmarts, the Costcos, the Best Buys. So we're taking a little bit of a different approach towards the TV side of things. We're going with the TVs that those companies can't get their hands on. So this is going to be more of the higher end premium TVs.
Okay, so I was going to ask you what sets you guys apart from the other stores, and there you go.
Exactly,
So
it's going to be a
brands,
performance thing for sure.
Okay,
Yep.
so I like that answer because that's always what we want, the pristine photos. And I mean, look at this. There's gold on the food here, and it's a crystal clean picture because we're talking about this TV, right?
So this TV here is a 77-inch OLED. This is the new A80L from Sony, 2023 model. The cool thing with OLED TVs, and the reason the picture is so good on them, on a traditional TV or an LED TV, the zones are lit by backlights. So picture a big grid, kind of like if you had a pan of Scotcheroos, right? I love to eat. And it's all cut like that, up and down and side to side. That zone or square or piece of Scotcheroo is responsible for doing all of the color and backlighting of that part of the TV. The way that an OLED TV is, if you've ever looked really close at a TV, it kind of looks like a screen door.
Like a little pixelated type of thing?
Exactly. And the reason that is because the lighting is done by pixels, 8 million of them to be exact, on a 4K television. So on the OLED TV, every single pixel on this TV has its own on-off switch. So instead of the big slices, we're down to really small slices. So the picture on it is pristine. You get true black colors is the big thing. So instead of this zone trying to recreate black, it can just turn off.
Okay, so I'm not going to see as many pixels, I guess, because it is, you said 8K as well.
Yep.
Okay, so I've always wondered what the difference is between LED and you said OLED.
Yep.
Okay, so that makes it the beautiful images that we are seeing. Now, when it comes down to sound, how's sound with this type of TV, or is that where you kind of go with a sound bar?
So as TVs have gotten better, the sound on them has too. As much as I hate to say it, they do sound pretty good out of the box, but I would love for people to come in and let me show them the difference between the TV sound and the speakers.
Hey, you can always have both, right?
That's right.
Absolutely. What else makes this TV unique or such?
So a cool thing about Sony versus, say, the Samsungs and the LGs of the world is they get out of their way when it comes to the software on it. So if you've ever owned a Google product or a Fire Stick or anything like that, they have their own operating system. Specifically Google here, they're a software developer. So all Sony TVs have Google built into them, the Google operating system. So you can download any app you can get on the Play Store right onto this TV. So a lot of companies like Beck out in Kidder County, and I think they're starting to roll into parts of Bismarck too, they have a thing called Epic TV, which is IP television, which is TV over internet, or similar to like Hulu, HBO, stuff like that. This, you'd be able to download it right on the TV. You don't need an extra box. You don't have to learn a new remote. It's super slick.
Okay, I like that. Now, I'm assuming we're going to go to another super slick.
Yeah, we'll get motoring over here.
So what's the difference between this one and this one?
So now we're looking at a traditional LED TV. This is going to be an 85-inch though. So the cool thing with 85s is obviously they're massive.
What was the size of the
That
other
was
one?
a 77 over there.
Okay.
So the 85 LED, now you're allocating more of your funds to the size rather than the performance. So it's still going to look really good, and as harsh as it might sound to say, this is the lowest performance TV we sell. And it still looks pretty darn good.
What are the sizes of TVs that you do have here?
So they go all the way down to 32-inch up to a 100-inch.
100-inch.
If you want to see what a 100-inch looks like in person, we hung 3 of them up at the new X Golf, kind of by Pizza Ranch and Dick's Sporting Goods. They are incredible.
Okay. Yeah, we were down there like a couple of months ago, and fabulous location and everything. So, okay, good to know. So we can always see that. And I'm assuming you need just a big wall and a big stability for that.
Yeah, you need some studs in the wall for sure. You don't want to use drywall screws.
Yeah, absolutely. Because they do get pretty heavy.
Yeah.
Okay, now comes anything else that we need to know with this TV?
So same operating system. This specific one, they make 32 up to 85. And to put it in perspective for you, that manufacturers are making getting the big TV extremely enticing. So when I first started 5 years ago, a TV this size, an entry-level one, was $6,000.
Yeah, I believe
You can
that.
get this one, which is way higher performance than that one, for half the price.
Okay, so that's a really good deal then nowadays. And
Exactly.
I think the rumor on the street is TVs just keep getting cheaper and cheaper.
Which is weird because
so-
nothing else is.
That is true. Very fair, especially with football season underway. That's
Right.
good. Okay, but with a good game, again, more sound, and we want to talk more about sound a little.
Yeah, so on this system specifically, we've got a 5.1 system set up by JBL. 5.1 referring to 5 total speakers and then 1 subwoofer. A 5.1 system is going to give you really all of the sound that the director intended you to hear, whether it's a movie or a TV show.
Gotcha.
And then when it comes to sports, you can get the roar of the crowd that sounds like it's coming from behind you, and
Yeah.
you get, the announcers up front. So, Joe Buck and Troy Aikman will be sitting in front of you, and you can hear all the angry Vikings fans in the background.
Not the Packers fans.
That's right.
Okay, we love that too. And I like what else you pointed out here too. So if you have a power outage or something, surge.
Yeah, so one of the big things is, people are investing a fair amount of money in their electronics these days, whether it's the home theaters, the TVs, whatever. We have a brand new product by a company called Big Dog Power.
Okay.
So these have built-in IP control, meaning every device that you plug into this, we can log in remotely and diagnose if there's any problems.
Okay.
So that's going to save you a truck roll and a service call that we would
So
normally
that
have to
saves
charge.
the client money.
Exactly.
Love it.
The other cool thing is they obviously have surge protection built into them. So with surge protection, that's ultimately going to protect your equipment. One thing to note with most surge protectors is every time there is a surge, the surge protector actually weakens. So
Okay.
over time, you'd have to replace it.
And you're talking about this little guy.
Yep.
then.
So this little guy here, it's a plug and play deal. The customer can do it. Usually we'll leave a couple of them right by the surge protector, and when we monitor in, we can check the health of these and let them know, hey, you're down to like 15%. I'd recommend popping a new one and maybe stopping down and grabbing a backup.
Maybe a weird question, but how does one know that they just lost power and they had a surge kind of break? I think, is that the question I'm trying to
Yeah,
ask?
so
maybe? How do you know?
if you did have a surge specifically, the lights in your house would kind of pop and then they'd go off. If
Gotcha.
you had a
Okay.
brownout, which is when power is low, then the lights would start to dim.
Okay.
Oversurge and undersurge is both harmful for equipment, so this will prevent both.
Okay, we need that. And we got 30 seconds here, Tanner.
30
One
seconds.
more.
So a
Yep.
couple other things that we do are security systems. We use a company called IC Realtime. They're based out of Florida. Most of their products come with a 10-year warranty. A lot of people are interested in getting cameras these days versus, the door locks and the keypads and stuff like that. You get security cameras, it's kind of like having insurance. You don't need them till you do, but you can go back and see what happened. The other cool thing we do is networking.
Yeah.
Everything we've talked about so far kind of revolves around internet.
Absolutely.
If you've got a poor internet connection, none of this stuff is going to work as good as it can. So we use Eero. This is the pro version. You won't find this one online. You get like an extra 500 square feet of coverage, and it does do mesh as well. So if you've
Okay.
got any spots in your house that struggle to get good connection, we can add these all around and give you a really powerful network.
You guys have a whole thing going for you guys. So get your living rooms, your homes fixed and everything.
That's right.
Tanner, where can
One-stop
we-
shop.
Absolutely. We love it. Where can we find Blue Hawk Audio and
So
Video?
we are in the Kirkwood Mall right next to Ike Heating. We also have a store out in Dickinson next to Yum Froyo.
Okay, I like it. And are we ready to watch some football?
I'm
Let's
ready.
do it.
Go Packers.
Oh, Lee's not liking this. Okay. Keep it here. More to come on North Dakota Today.